station. It's time now for your expanded local news. The Taylorville School Board of Education met on Tuesday evening for their regular monthly meeting before kicking off the new academic year. The board approved the consent agenda after learning that 52% of the tax revenue that was gained through the 1 cent sales tax has now been paid out, totaling $9.2 million. Following that was new business, which was highlighted by a presentation of the fiscal year 26 budget by Superintendent Brandy Bruley. Bruley explained to those in attendance that there is an expected shortfall in this year's budget. This is mainly caused by a large reduction in federal funding, some of which will not be received at all. So how does a brand new building addition and moving forward with future add-ons make sense? What about the newly approved bond resolutions of $15 million? As Bruley explains, the revenue generated by the 1 cent sales tax can be used for only one purpose. That's capital projects.
So the 1 cent sales tax, the Christian County, the county's facility sales tax was passed in either 2016 or 2017 in Christian County. I do not remember the date, but that money goes back. It's the additional 1 penny on every dollar that you spend here in Christian County on things, and it goes back to schools, and it can only be used for capital projects, which are your large items to support facility upgrades. What we have thought out is to do, with the board approved, to do 3 projects, which included renovations to North, the Fine Arts Center, and then taking a look at Memorial, what we're going to do long term with that building. That's what that $15 million can be used for. And since we had that resolution and that hearing, we have that $15 million that is now put into Fund 30, which is your 1 cent sales tax, where you can put it in Fund 60, where you can spend it, or you can seek a bond from Fund 30, but that bond can only go towards those capital projects because you're essentially paying for it out of the 1 cent sales tax that the county is generating. So it's not additional tax to taxpayers because everyone's already paying it based on the vote that happened in 2016 or 2017. So that money is there for districts to use for these various projects, and that's what the board voted on previously, are these 3 projects that I just mentioned.
As the number of student class sizes continues to dwindle, Taylorville School District will have to look at budget cuts of their own. Bruley knows these will be tough, but necessary decisions to make.
So it's very difficult for schools to generate revenue. You get it from just a variety of sources, and that's all you get. We're a nonprofit. We don't get to increase costs too much, so there's really no way to generate more revenue. So when you have an unbalanced budget, like the one that was proposed last night, the only way to do that is to take a look at staffing needs, professional development needs, do your needs versus wants. You heard me say last night that our enrollment is declining in the district. And so if you have fewer students, do we need as many staff members to support these students? Those are hard, difficult questions that we don't have answers to yet, but that is definitely something that is forthcoming to look at, is to see, do we have too many staff members supporting a decline in enrollment that keeps decreasing each year instead of increasing? Those are very difficult conversations to have, but that is the one way to rectify a concern that you have. We're always hopeful that federal funding will come back around, but right now everyone's saying don't anticipate it at this point. And so that's why it's not reflected in the budget, because it just doesn't exist at this point.
Even with the budget not where it needs to be, Taylorville School District has to keep up with required purchases and necessities. Bruley shares the top priorities of the budget as she sees them.
Projects that we're looking at priority-wise that we want to do is we need math curriculum at the elementary level. We currently just purchased new curriculum at the junior high. So these are all things that we must do to support our students. Then we need to take a look at the playground at Central School. Has some concerns. We're still paying on the completion of the Taylorville High School edition, which our final payments should be in by October. Last night, they also, the board approved to purchase a driver's ed car that is much needed. And then we still need to do plumbing throughout the district. So those costs are more to come. And then, of course, you heard me talk about the walk-in freezer that is no longer in use, and we had to replace that. And those are large expenses at $81,500.
Where the budget is at this moment will likely be the same for their pending deadline of September 30th. The budget was only heard by the board at the August meeting and will receive a vote at their next monthly meeting. And while it is only the education fund that is out of balance, a solution isn't nearly as simple as some might think.
Well, it won't be balanced before September 30th. It won't be. It will be, as it's presented, it will be as it's stated, unless federal funding comes in by that time, which I just mentioned. We're not anticipating that to happen statewide. So what I presented last night is pretty much what the budget will be, unless there's a good surprise coming our way. But unlike our personal finances, where we have a checking account and a savings account, and your utility bills went up, so you take a lower rate for your grocery bills or going out to eat. That's not quite how district funding works, because you can't commingle those. Each silo that I presented last night is its own separate budget. So when it looks like you have an increase in Fund 60, which has to go to capital projects, people are thinking, well, why don't you just move that over to the Ed Fund to balance that out? Because you can't. There are strict rules which each of those funds are where you can get revenue from and where you can get expenses from. And we cannot move 1 cent sales tax into the Ed Fund, which is Fund 10, to balance that out. That's not a legal parameter in which districts are allowed to do.
Find out more about the Taylorville School District at tcusd3.org. The next Taylorville School Board of Education meeting will be on September 9th of 2025. The Windsor Harvest Picnic is set for August 14th through the 16th and is loaded with handmade dinners, activities, and live music headlined by the Kentucky Headhunters. The event is free to attend, however, donations are recommended. Of the many dinners that will be served, pulled pork and Italian beef are fan favorites, with the Windsor FFA hosting a Saturday morning breakfast to help raise funds. Stacy and Carson Cole, event organizers for the Windsor Harvest Picnic, start by sharing the Thursday and Friday schedule of activities.
So Thursday, August 14th is when everything starts. So very first thing we have is our pulled pork and Italian beef dinner. So everybody loves our pulled pork and Italian beef, my dad's recipe. So it's famous around there.
Yes.
And then along with that, Methodist Church does their ice cream social, which will be just in line with us down the food line. And then Little Miss Harvest Picnic will be that Thursday night at 6 p.m., followed by the patriotic opening by Windsor American Legion. And then Brad Brown will start 7 p.m. to 8:30. Then Friday, the 15th, we will have our fish dinner by Windsor Harvest Picnic and the desserts by the grade school students. And then our welcome will be at 6 p.m., followed by our special auction at 6:15, and then the Kentucky Headhunters at 7:15.
Wow.
We'll also have the inflatables provided by 25A Extreme, and the Windsor FFA will be coming around and selling Bessie Bingo squares.
Okay.
So that'll be happening all weekend long.
Windsor Harvest Picnic will continue into Saturday, and Carson Cole talks the busy day that will close out the event.
Then Saturday, August 16th, the very first thing we have is breakfast by Windsor FFA, and then the 5K run all kind of happens at the same time. So those both start at 7 a.m. Check-in for the 5K starts at 7, and then the run actually starts at 7:30, and that is for the senior class at Windsor High School. They get all the proceeds of that to go toward their trip. The next thing we have is the pedal tractor pull, which starts at 10, and that is, I believe, ages 0 to 10.
Okay. Maybe 11, I don't know.
And then our parade, which we talked about earlier, forms at Windsor High School at 2 p.m. and then actually begins at 3. And then the very next thing starts up with our pork chop dinner and homemade desserts by the Watt Committee.
Stacy Cole says they know the wait for food is well worth it. Cole uses his own personal recipes for meals like pulled pork and Italian beef, with a focus on keeping the cost down for families.
Hey, one thing I want to mention about the food. Okay, so if we have a line for our food, that's how it works. But by the time you get up there and get your food, it takes maybe 15, 20 minutes. But the people who are sitting down at the time you're in line, they are done eating and get up and get out of the way so you have room to sit. Okay. So some people complain a little bit. They don't want to stand in line. Well, it takes about 20 minutes most of the time to get through the line. Not very long.
It looks more intimidating than
It
is.
does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
The line wraps around the pavilion most of the time.
Okay, and your food's going to be fresh and hot.
Yeah.
Find out more about the Windsor Harvest Picnic by visiting them at their Facebook page. Stacy and Carson Cole appeared as guests on the WTIM Shelbyville Morning Show. This will conclude the first portion of your expanded local news, and it's brought to you by First National Bank of Taylorville.
I'm James Kirk, Vice President at First National Bank in Taylorville. I get it. Switching banks sounds like a chore, but we make it easy. I've helped people and businesses move their accounts with less hassle than they've expected and more personal service than they've ever gotten before. We've been here for nearly 70 years, a true community bank that's not going anywhere. If you're ready to make a change, we're ready to help. First National Bank in Taylorville, first every time for nearly 70 years. Member FDIC.
The Taylorville Kiwanis Club and the Taylorville Fire Department are co-sponsoring a car seat safety day at the Taylorville Firehouse this Saturday. Hours are from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. The Taylorville Fire Department will provide a full inspection of the installation of your child's safety seat and/or will install your child's safety seat. This will be a drive-through event, so please drive through the fire department to have your child's seat inspected. The Taylorville Kiwanis Club and Taylorville Fire Department have co-sponsored this event for many years now. The Taylorville Kiwanis Club is part of a global organization of volunteers dedicated to improving the world one child and one community at a time. Weekly meetings are held Tuesdays at noon at the Taylorville Moose Lodge. For information on the club, go to TaylorvilleKiwanis.com. The Shelbyville Community School District is ready for another school year to begin. The first day for students is this Thursday, August 14th. School community members can expect several aesthetic changes and new academic opportunities. All of this has left administrators excited for the start of the new academic year. Families likely have already seen changes in the form of a new online registration system. Superintendent Shane Shurick says this has made the process much easier for all of those involved.
We did open registration earlier or towards the end of July. We still did provide 2 days of in-person registration, but when they came, they still did it in an online format.
Yes.
So we took all the paperwork, pen, pencil paperwork out of the equation.
Okay.
And anytime you do something new or different, there's a hiccup. I mean, and that's part of the thing you do the first year is evaluate how something works. But we were very happy at the conclusion of our online registration. There was no lines. Didn't hear anybody complain about that at all.
No.
We had people that are helping parents as they maneuvered through the online registration. So all in all, it went very smoothly.
Shurick and other district leaders are also touting the results of a recent annual state-level survey of their own teachers. The survey shows overall high levels of job satisfaction.
Just to give you an example, this is our staff we're talking about, our teachers and our paras. 98% of them would recommend this school to other people.
Wow. Yeah.
Teachers who reported they look forward to coming to work every day is 94%.
Wow.
I think if you were to go to any business, any entity, and poll their employees that they're excited to come to work every day, I don't know if you'd get 94%.
No.
So I think that says a lot about our climate, about our people, and about our students. Just some other ones is percentage of teachers that feel trusted by their supervisor, 97%. Teacher loyalty rating, 95%. Percentage of teachers who reported feeling safe in the workplace, 99%. Percentage of teachers who view the administrative team as effective managers who make the school run smoothly, 95%.
Kyle Ladd is the principal at Shelbyville High School. That's where several projects have taken place over the summer within the front area and the gymnasium as well.
The first of which, and probably what most people are going to see right off the get-go, is if they come to the school, the circle drive in between the high school and the middle school has been hard surfaced and has been completely redone. So the sidewalks that lead to the kindergarten center and they go to the front of the school along with the bus and traffic routes, have been redesigned with concrete. We also put a big concrete pad out next to the high school, adjacent from the high school front entrance. And then what people are going to see very soon at Meet the Rams and some of the other activities that we have going on that are school affiliated will be the gymnasium. So this year, the gym floor was redesigned and sanded down by Allred's floor cleaning service. And we proposed a design template that we felt was classic and classy, which we think is attributable and a testament to our community.
The Illinois State Board of Education has recognized Shelbyville schools as being among the best academically within the state. LAD attributes this to the school's efforts to prepare students for what is next.
And
Hey, one thing I want to
And we're very proud of that. And we like to promote that as well, so that families and students and parents know that this is a great place to be. It's a great place to send your kids. And if you do send your kids to Shelbyville High School, they're going to be ready and prepared for any sort of post-secondary arrangement that they're interested in, whether that be college advancement or if it's career advancement, we'll have them ready and prepared. Another kind of neat feature, Mark, that we have going into this school year is a dual credit arrangement. Our students that attend Shelbyville High School can take upwards of 24 different dual credit classes. Those are, dual credit stands for college courses that are taken in high school. And a student that attends Shelbyville High School can earn 1 full year of college credit before they ever graduate from high school.
that helps a lot.
It does. The cost savings are just unbelievable for a family.
More information on the Shelbyville Community School District is available at shelbyville.k12.il.us. Shane Shuricht and Kyle Ladd appeared as guests on the WTIM Shelbyville Morning Show. Reducing the USDA's Washington, D.C. presence and opening 5 regional hubs is getting reaction in the ag industry and within Congress. Democrat Eric Sorensen represents Illinois' 17th congressional district. The USDA regional hubs announced are in Raleigh, North Carolina, Kansas City, Missouri, Indianapolis, Fort Collins, Colorado, and Salt Lake City, Utah. Moving now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com and are brought to you by Sutton Memorial Home. This is Chad Sparks.
When a loved one passes, grieving family members and friends often are confronted with dozens of decisions about the funeral arrangements. Sutton Memorial Homes in Taylorville and Nokomis have been helping families in the area for over 55 years with these often difficult decisions. They offer pre-planning, traditional funerals, and cremation. Austin and the staff at Sutton Memorial Homes' goal is to make your family's transition easier in their time of need. Sutton Memorial Homes, where caring is what they do best.
74-year-old Bobby Joe Cheney of Panama City, Florida, formerly of Taylorville, died on July 25th. Cremation rights have been accorded and no services will be provided. 88-year-old Lawrence Speed Beatty of Taylorville died on August 10th. His visitation was on August 13th with funeral service today, August 14th at 11 a.m. at St. Maurice Catholic Church in Morrisonville. Burial will be at St. Maurice Cemetery. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Perfetti Asali Funeral Home in Morrisonville. 64-year-old Dean McConnell of Taylorville died on August 9th. Visitation is August 15th from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. at Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. Private interment will be made at a later date. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. And 73-year-old Barbara L. Peterite of Taylorville died on August 8th. Visitation is August 16th from 12 p.m. until 1 p.m. at Schaefer Perfetti and Asali Funeral Home in Taylorville. A celebration of life will be on August 16th at 1 p.m. at Schaefer Perfetti and Asali Funeral Home in Taylorville. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Schaefer Perfetti and Asali Funeral Home in Taylorville. Get details on these and other local news stories at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com or on WTIM. WTIM is your only local news radio.